Hey folks, we're in Sholo this morning. Had our live stream last night. Just left First Generation Homestead yesterday, and we are on the hunt for building supplies. I'm gonna see. I wrote up a competitive bid last night. I'm gonna give one to Lowe's. I'm gonna give one to Home Depot, and there's another supplier here I'm gonna give it to and see what they will charge us to put that all together. I went by their websites, so I'm hoping that maybe we can beat that a little bit to build a 12 by 16 workshop. So folks, after consideration, looking at these sheds, we have decided we're just going to stick build our workshop. And seeing as how we're already in town, I was going to take and they don't deliver. I'm bad about not finishing thoughts. I was going to take and have them just bid it out, but I'm really not going to gain anything by doing that. I'm just going to lose a day. So we are going to go back up to Lowe's. We were actually leaving town, and as we discussed it, which is the way we do a lot of things, driving down the road, we said, well, we might as well just get a load. We got a trailer with us, we got straps with us. Let's just go ahead and get a load. So we're going to get our concrete. We're going to get our posts. We're going to get our rim boards and our floor joists, possibly, and maybe some 2x4s, a few 2x4s. And I think I have screws. I know I've got some nails, but we will start this week on our workshop, Lord willing, and it don't rain. That's the thing right now. So that's what we're doing. Off to Lowe's we go.
We went through a lot of options before we came to this decision. We actually looked at some of the pre-made sheds you see there in the background here at Lowe's and at Home Depot. But nothing came close to what I know we could build for the money. I had already pre-bid everything out. I knew exactly what all the material was going to cost. So I knew I could build a much better product and have a much more secure shed when it was all said and done for the money, and a lot larger one too. Every bit of space counts.
Well folks, I think we've had it more loaded. Rain's fixing to come, so I hope our concrete don't get wet. We got everything to frame up the floor. We got the Douglas fir, and I'm going to treat it. It'll take and work good. The Douglas fir was a little cheaper than the treated, and to be honest with you, the treated, it didn't look that good. It was not yellow wood. We're used to yellow wood, but it did not look that good. So the Douglas fir looked truer, looked better. I'll just treat it. I got to get this strapped down. We got to get back to the homestead. Here we are, folks, next morning. Got it all loaded up here where we're going to build at. Going to build the 12 by 16 workshop here. The eventual house site's going to be here. This is going to be a parking, and then we want to put a cellar here. For those of you who haven't followed us, we're going to dig back in this bank and put a cellar down in the ground. So I'm going to take and get this unloaded. I've got to take and treat this wood. It's asphalt fence paint. I generally do a mixture of copper tox, kerosene, and use motor oil. It'll make wood last just as long. I was having problems finding copper tox of any size. The little bottle, like $12. We're gonna do that. So I got this asphalt paint. It will waterproof these posts and stuff. Everybody says, why don't you Suzuki bond or Shishugi bond, whatever. That's a labor intensive process, to be honest with you. She says, oh, it'll last 50 years. this right here will last just as long. And Doug fir will last 20-25 years anyway. I mean, it's going to break down, but it's going to last 20-25 years anyway. So by adding this, it's going to take and really help it out. And it's not going to be directly on the ground. The only thing that's going to be making contact with the ground are the posts. The treated lumber that we had to choose from was not that good. It was pretty ugly. And this is truer lumber. Looks a lot better. It's just going to make a better foundation, and I have to go through another step. But the difference between the treated and the Doug fir, I saved over $100, even with the paint, the fence paint. So that's my choice. Some people like the Suzuki bond, but I'm just not a Suzuki bonner or Suzuki bonner or whatever you call it. It's a labor-intensive process, and it ain't cheap. So I'd be right back or more than treated, and the quality of the lumber was just, it was not good. So I'm going to get this unloaded.
Logistics is always an issue when you're building, whether you're building for somebody else or building for yourself. Knowing what materials to buy first and knowing what materials to have on hand so that you can continue to build without making unnecessary trips to town is always a challenge. And I don't ever work off of a set of plans. I hardly ever write anything down. I'm working out of my head, which can be frustrating to some folks. My wife has learned to just trust what I've thought up and go from there. And I'm always changing things around when I get to a certain point. So I'm always planning and then replanning as I go.
Okay folks, we're back here. Went to town, come back. I'm going to start laying out the four corners of this shed, and I've got to treat these ends. I'm going to treat the ends. I kind of contemplated, am I going to take and, you know, paint the whole thing and then but I think I'll treat the ends and then cut them and then set them in the ground and then paint it, and then paint each piece after I get it put up, because this stuff is sticky and it's not that great when it comes to handling it after it's on the product. It's not meant to be done that way. So I'm going to paint these ends first. It is not it's not very cool today. It's kind of hot. My camera's going to get hot. I'll try to do some time lapse up in the trees. I'll put it in the trees and take and get some shots of it. I may just bring you some snid bits, but I'm going to take and put the four corners out and build my little transits for finding the correct corners, and we'll get these posts in the ground today, hopefully. So take it, stick with me. Next thing you're going to see is these painted, and then I'll be working, letting those dry, and I'll be working on getting these transits up. Okay folks, see I painted the ends of those. I got to paint the other three sides. I got my transits set up, but we're not square, so brought mama up here, my beautiful wife, to help me square it up. Now how you square it up is, there may be people out there can do this more eloquent than me, but you want to measure from corner to corner diagonally on both sides. The one that is longer and I've already put a square on this right here, and I can already tell you that it's longer on that corner. I already know that for a fact. It's longer on that corner. And so that means we're going to have to pull this corner over and this corner over. You can't just pull one corner over because we're 12 by 16, and that would just make that short. So we have to pull it over an equal amount so that we maintain the 12. If you move that over an inch, you got to move that over an inch. That maintains your 12 feet. So me and Mama is going to take, and we're going to measure this diagonally, see exactly how much longer it is than the other one, and then we're going to split the difference and move it over. That's what we're fixing to do now.
I wish I had $1 for every time me and my wife have done this. Over the years, we built some huge barns, the largest of which was 42 feet wide and 108 feet long. We actually built it in stages. Down to the 12 by 12 horse stall sitting out in a pasture, you do them all the same way. You got to start with a square foundation or everything else is off.
239.5. Now we are square. Now we're going to have 9 posts, 3 down the one side, 3 down the middle, 3 down the other side, and these 3 here in the middle, I'm actually going to throw another board up and under just to help with the giving of the floor joist. We don't want the floor joist given, so we're going to put a what we call a drop girder or a support girder underneath. It's basically going to be a 2x4, but it will help keep it from giving. We can always come back in, put something right in the center of these two if we need to. So I always try to build, that'll help me build later. So now I got to start digging holes. I'm going to take and I'm going to paint the other sides of these 4x4s, get them turned over, paint them, and then get to digging some holes. Thanks, baby. I'm getting ready to cut our posts in 2. It's threatening rain, but we got a big tarp right over here on the trailer we can tarp everything off with. I got my 4 main holes done. Once I get those, I'll have my perimeter, can frame it up, and then that'll help me dig the other holes where I need them at. So I'm fixing to cut these in 2. Miss Polly took and painted the others. Got our generator up here, and I'm gonna cut these with a skill saw. This is my $29 skill saw from Harbor Freight, and we're gonna set some posts. And I'm not gonna be able to leave this camera out. It's done blew over once, so we'll put the posts in the hole and show you when we're done. Still threatening rain. But we got our outside post in. We got to get our center posts in. Wind's really blowing, but we got it all squared up, got our posts in. We don't have a great lot of water out here, so what we do is we put the concrete up almost to the top and then just fill the hole with water and let it seep down through there. And I'll probably put some more water in it in the morning. This ground really porous. It will soak right on down around it. You can see how it did here. It went on down in there. The concrete will soak up water like crazy. So we lack our 3 posts down the center, and we can do that with boards, which is probably the way I'll do it. I'll put my rim on I'm putting a 2x6 rim there, 2x8 rim there. Gonna put a bead board up, and we can go ahead and put our 2x8s on. That is where we're at. I'm gonna try and get the rim joists on, the outer boards on, and maybe even get some joists hung today. So I'm gonna get after it, and I'll bring you some more. The wind's just blowing too much to set this up. The wind's blew it over 2 or 3 times, so I may set it up a little later if it calms down. It keeps threatening rain over there, so I don't know. It's went all the way around us twice. We'll see. That's our stage that we're at right now. We are having some gnarly weather here. Check this out. Almost reminds me of tornado weather. It's kind of weird. Big old thunderhead. It may get us, it may not, but we got everything tarped, and I'm trying to get this center post in back here. We have to put the floor joists in, paint everything that's left, and then it's on to decking. We have to get our decking next. That's what we're going to be after, probably tomorrow. We're going to go run and get the decking, because just as soon as I can get this done. I have a bunch of lag bolts that I got out of that warehouse salvage job that we did. So I'm going to be using some lag bolts. I'm going to pre-drill, run the lag bolts in just for kicks. Boy, that's looking wild. Check that out, y'all. If that don't look like a tornado, nothing does. Probably not, though. Could turn into one, though. We've been having some tornadoes around Arizona, down south. That's going to wrap it up for us right now, folks. For this one, next time you see me, I'll be putting in floor joists and putting down decking, because we're going to get decking tomorrow and make sure my figures are right. Think we're going to be in good shape. And once we get the decking down, it's going to be on the walls. Our only drawback is our poor little trailer. It only hauls so much, and we have to get about 80 2x4s yet. So that's going to be a load. The decking is going to be a load probably by itself. We'll probably get the decking, maybe the doors and windows, I don't know. We'll throw some stuff on there, some of the lighter stuff, and get this thing built. I think we have enough time. We don't have to go down to Tiny Shiny Home until 2 weeks, week and a half. So I think we're good. May have a full week of work, and I can just about get it built, framed up, and covered in a week. I have to get up early and run to Home Depot or Lowe's quick. So, all right, folks, appreciate y'all for stopping by. Remember to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Share us on social media, and until next time, we'll see you down the road.